Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another Build in Public update, weeks 49 and 50. Let's jump right into it. For Swiftbrief or SEO outline generator, we have set up some growth experiments. We have a functional product. We do need to just get more users on there, which there are two ways. We can either buy them somewhere, but a more bootstrapper friendly way is to, just be more active in the community, which we're going to run some live streams where we will build out SEO roadmaps for people with their own SaaS or e-com business. And we'll live stream the whole thing, make it content, repost it in communities, and also just record it, throw it on YouTube. So just kind of top of the funnel things. But hopefully it will be interesting for people that watch the stream to just check out the product. So it's just an experiment. We're going to run 4 to 5 of those. I already have 5 people lined up for this, and then reassess if it makes sense or not. But yeah, it's worth a try. I also had some calls with Semrush, for example, for a Semrush app in their App Center. This is kind of a way to outsource distribution as the Semrush apps live directly in Semrush. However, they're very picky with the kind of apps that they put in the store. So you have to get on a call and you have to kind of set up some sort of partnership agreement, which, we're still working on. I think the main challenge here will be to position us as a kind of add-on to Semrush rather than a competitor, let's say, for the kind of keyword research piece, which I think will be very important in the kind of positioning. I also had a call with AppSumo for their select partnership, just to kind of see how that would work and if it's feasible at all. But yeah, those are more long-running experiments because they involve external dependencies, which will take longer than what we can kind of take in our own hands. However, they also have significantly more leverage if we can get them right? So pros and cons. All right. For 2024 with Swiftbrief, so I actually wrote on Indie Hackers about this. I think next year will be kind of, make or break for the tool. I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting as now we are functional, we're operating, and we have a product that we can, stand behind. And it will be interesting to see how far we can get. And at the end of the year, I think something around $10,000 monthly recurring revenue is a good goal for us to aim for. It's based on the current traction, still a stretch goal, I think, but it's also not unfeasible. So as soon as we have something that works, I think the market is big enough and kind of has enough potential to carry that weight rather quickly. But obviously the question will be, how long does it take for us to find that piece of technology that people are super willing to pay for? So that is, the kind of product. So that's still in the works. And from what we've learned, Q1 will be, about activation. So getting people to use the tool once, but then also getting people to use the tool multiple times. So kind of removing roadblocks, both in the product, but also in onboarding and things like that. I think there's still a lot of work we can do. And then we will mainly shift our focus to retention, which means getting people to come back to the app, which is a lot of kind of convenience features, which is, for example, reporting, reporting on keywords and reporting on new rankings, etc. That's something that people come back for because they're just interested in how things are going. And that's a kind of core piece of the next version we're building, right? Reporting via Google Search Console and also Google Analytics, so to see what kind of return I'm actually getting for the briefs and the content that I'm producing, and also things like publishing directly to your CMS. These are all retention features that come quite late in the kind of tool chain, in the kind of process that you're running in order to publish an article. So that is mainly, as soon as someone has seen the value, they will keep coming back for these because they save them a lot of time. And obviously also the brief, making the brief better. That was also a retention feature. But yeah, and then I think once we have, then we should be in a stage where we have a product that resonates. Obviously, that's just a guess at this stage, but we'll have to plan with something. So then, scaling what we have, Q3 and Q4 will go to the moon, obviously. So yeah, I think once we scale the approach that we have, I think that's probably what's going to be the core focus. I mean, there's still always things that can be built, but obviously just keeping up with what's going on, especially in the world of AI, as it's moving quite fast. So I think more than 2-3 months we can't really plan ahead anyway. So let's see where that goes. All right, for Maid of Speeches, or AI wedding speech generator, we have built a feature that lets people, if they don't need to write the speech right now, just leave the email, leave their email and leave the wedding date, so that we can just send them some content in preparation of the email. So it's free content that we send, as in like, how to prepare as a maid of honor for the wedding, or things like that. And 2 people have now used that, which is interesting. We've launched it, like, it's just a side feature, right? So it's not really that important, but I think it's interesting to see that people are starting to use this, and we will see if that actually leads to any sort of conversion. So we're also going to send them the link to the chat that they had, and send it to them 2 weeks out, and then 1 week out, just to remind them, like, hey, you still have your speech here. Do you still want to write it? Do you want to finish it? Because people already start writing the speech and then they kind of tap out, and it's like, hey, I actually don't really need to do this right now. So here, just remind me when it's time. And why did we do this? The one main thing that we've learned is that the timing is very important. So most people come in through Google search. They will come in 2 days before the wedding, and they'll hammer out their speech right then and there. And I think a lot of people like to kind of procrastinate on this. So we need to kind of find the right time to retarget people, right? Right. And in scope of that, we're working on some more free tools that are based off of Jen's already existing content. So she has a lot of content. Jen is our marketing partner for this project. So she has a lot of content around maid of honor, wedding planning, all that kind of stuff. And she will give us documents that we can just use in order to kind of build a custom chatbot. That, looking here at the new Assistance API, so you have a retrieval feature which retrieves text from these files. This is just for a test. And then you can also have functions running here. So if you need dynamic data, let's say from the internet or whatever, we can use this as well. We have no use case for that right now, but yeah. And then one thing that I wanted to do that was very interesting, or very important for me to test, so this is kind of just like a proof of concept, right? It was interesting to see if we can just kind of prime the AI to the model or whatever, to for example, not write a speech for someone, but kind of, if someone asks a speech related question, to send them to our speech tools, which are optimized but also obviously paid. So we don't want to cannibalize ourselves with this kind of free tool, so that people can do what they should be paying for, right? I mean, it's not going to be as good because it's not optimized, but people don't know that. And so we have to kind of make sure that when you ask something, about a speech, which you can do in the instructions here. So I just basically wrote, you help, bridegroom, best man, maid of honor with the wedding. And when they ask for help writing their speech, just send them to our tool, which you can find here, which is like a collection of 3 speech generators that we have at this stage. So, and that seems to work fairly well. So I think this is like enough to build a custom kind of version of both, getting the good things about if we don't cover something with content, it just uses GPT knowledge. And if we do have it in the files, it will try to retrieve it. I think it's not perfect compared to like these more optimized tools for retrieval, but I think for our use case, it's good enough. And we're just going to plug this into existing content that already ranks. So hopefully that will give people some value. And also one thing we want to do here is to collect the date as part of this flow for the wedding, similar to what I showed you before. And that will just be another point of retargeting, reaching back out when it's time, to not rely on people to search for us when they have the pain, but rather finding them and reaching out to them when we think should be close to the point where they have the pain of having to write a speech. All right, a bit of a longer one this time, but I hope that was still somewhat interesting, and I'll see you next time. Feel free to subscribe. All right, cheers.